Hope everyone's doing well. Now we're gonna get right into it. And my question for the day is modern women. Are your prices too high? And let's just say a man asks you out on a date, okay? Now, we as men, we're gonna pay for, you know, drinks, the meal, or whatever, okay? But what we're not going to do is you invite your children, or your friends to come out on a date with us where we're trying to get to know you. We're not paying for all those people. Okay. We invited you. Okay. And you can't get an attitude because we are interested in getting to know you. And those are added distractions where you can't really get to know you. So to me, you're basically using it. Now, that being said, is I ask you out on a date. Why is your requirement for me to pay for your nails, your hair, and manicure, pedicure, and all that other stuff? Now, if you were going out to the club with your girls, would they have to pay? No. Okay. And it asks the man to pay because you got children, so you need a babysitter. Well, in order for him to go out with you, he got to pay for the babysitter. No. And guess what? I'll throw rocks, because that's not my responsibility. I'm trying to get to know you. And to require a man to do that, it's not fair, it's not ethical, and it's manipulation. Okay? Plain and simple. So you're asking me, what about the father? No, he's not going to do it because one, he ain't going to want you on a date with somebody else, especially if he still like you or think he's going to still have an opportunity to hit it. Okay. So, but you're asking a man that you don't really know to take the responsibility of that. No, strong men ain't going to accept that. That's just the way it is. And if you sit there and say, well, I see broke energy, what the hell does that even mean? Obviously, you got broke energy too because the first chance you get to actually go out and enjoy yourself and be with a man that shows interest, you're trying to use him, but you're calling him broke. Well, going to McDonald's or Burger King or whatever, it's a fast food restaurant. It's not a five-star restaurant. And you telling them, well, I deserve this kind of treatment. No, you haven't earned that. And if you deserve it, well, do like most people do. Treat yourself to a Big Mac and a smile, because that's all the hell you deserve. Okay. In order to deserve something, there is a certain amount of earning that you have to do. And saying it just because, look at me, I look good in the table. Well, let's throw a cloth on that table and start eating the plain McDonald's that you want to eat, and we can say that's a five-star restaurant. Okay. Now, believe it or not, if you upfront with these men, they might say, you know what, that might be a good idea. Let's bring the kids, let's make it a meal. But you don't dictate that. The man does. And if you think your cave is that good, you know, you probably got a weak man, okay? Because a strong brother ain't gonna put up with it, okay? So to sit there and think that you are trying to insult us by calling us broke, doesn't bother us, you know, because you're the one that don't have a damn car. You're the one that's sitting there trying to get us to pay for your normal upkeep. If we wasn't around, I bet you damn sure we'll get your nails and your hair done. Okay. So don't require us to do that. Now, if we want to offer, that's another topic. But don't sit there and try to use somebody and manipulate them into by saying certain things because we really don't give a damn. You know, that's not gonna phase us. You know? And this one young lady I know had the nerve to say, it would be easy for me to be a baby mama. That way I can live the life of luxury. Well, the theory is flawed, and you ladies that have been around a while know that's crazy. Because back in the day, we call that a sack chasing. Because that's all you're doing. And having a child doesn't give you a license to be lazy and stop working. That's not gonna happen. So again, I ask, are your prices too high? Ladies, there are some men out there that will accept your children as his responsibility. But to say then I'm not going to help him by not working, I'm going to put all the burden on him. I don't believe in 50-50. Well, do you think it's fair that y'all working together, then all of a sudden, you know, y'all get together, he accepts that responsibility, and you put all 100% of the burden on him. What the hell do you even think that's right? The balls that you even think that's fair, okay? No. That- You should be grateful that that man accepted the responsibility of another man's family, okay, and to treat it as his own. And I'm sad that my grandparents are not around, and grandparents like mine that trained the men or boys. When I was 5 or 6 years, I got up with my grandfather every day. Went out there, worked with him, slopping the animals, working on the tractor, things like that. 5, 6 years old. I still have that mentality to this day. Okay. Unfortunately, grandfathers like that don't exist. Okay. They're going to the farm in the sky, whatever you want to call it. So then you have these men that having children just to have children, but not taking their responsibility. So they don't know how to be fathers or grandfathers or whatever. Okay. And honestly, I don't care who doesn't like it because I'm not lying. Okay. And if anybody seriously had the grandparents that I had, you know, my grandparents, my grandmother, my grandfather had two parents, came together as one. There was no step brother, step sister. There was one set of rules. My grandfather. And when my grandfather was there, my grandmother. Period. No anything for bus. My grandmother trained her daughters to be wives. Unfortunately, grandmothers now are 36, 38. They didn't have the proper training, so how can they pass it down to their daughters? Can't. So everything is lost as these generations progress. And it's sad because my grandparents are a dying breed, okay? And people my age can remember that. My children and women and men that are my children's age, you know, they're not exposed to that, okay? Because their parents didn't see it. When privy to the good life, as I used to call it. Okay. Now, my brothers and sisters didn't like living in the country. I loved it. Okay. There wasn't anything to do. There was no TV, but there was a lot for riding horses, feeding the cows, whatever. We taught you how to be a man. Okay. And my grandmother taught my mother and her sisters how to be a wife, clean, work out in the fields. But you ladies now don't want to damn work. You want to sit there and have that man. It's like one is like I said, the math doesn't make sense. Whereas you're doing 100%, you got a man that is care enough about you that accept your responsibility or another man's responsibility and take that up on his own. And then you're gonna abandon him and leave it all to him. And then you wonder why he leave your ass after a while because you're sitting there, nothing to do. He's at work all the time trying to provide 100% for you and your children, and you go out and cheat on him because what? He's never there. Well, hell, how can he be there when you put all the burden on him? Okay? And then when he leaves your ass and put you right back where you were, oh, ain't no good men out here. You should be grateful, thankful that a man or God or whatever you want to call it that blessed you with that man to accept another man's responsibility. Okay? But then you got the balls to say, well, why would I want him? His baby mama don't want him. Well, let me flip the script on your ass. Why would I want you when your baby daddy won't take care of his children? See, shit goes both ways, okay? So if that stung a little bit, good, because maybe it'll open your eyes of how selfish can you be. So, like I said, it's not about you. It's about your children, okay? Now, you could have more if you're helping that man, okay? Your children have more. You probably could be upper middle class or at least middle class. They adequate clothing, food, transportation. You got a car, he got a car. You're working together. But no, you want to sit at home. He going to work, working 12, 14 hours a day. Okay. Kids are in school. You're laying at home watching TV and soap operas and whole bunch of crap, but you got the vehicle, having to drop him off. How crazy does that sound? Okay. Are you that selfish? I mean, because it should be simple. The first thing y'all holler about, well, I cook, clean, I take care of the kids. And then when it comes along, you find a man that sits there and willing to provide for you. You don't cook, you don't clean, you don't do shit, but you sit on your ass. And then you wait for the kids to get out of school, and then you wait for him to get home, but ain't nobody cook. That's crazy. And that gets expensive, especially on one income. So what I'm trying to say is, it's when that man steps to your life and accepts that responsibility, it is your responsibility as well to do your part. And do your part is not laying on your ass saying, I don't want to work. If you don't want to work, then you need to be by yourself. And you need to continue to take care of your responsibility by yourself if their father's not doing it. Okay? And this is another thing. You sorry ass men, you having these babies or whatever, okay? Mistake or whatever you want to call them. To me, there's no child that's a mistake. They were had on purpose because you had plenty of time for the mother to abort or whatever the case may be, give up adoption, whatever. Okay, but once that baby comes into the world, that's your responsibility and his responsibility. Period. And if you don't make the people downtown do what he's supposed to do. Instead of sitting there, well, I'm not gonna go after him because I still have feelings for him. I'm just gonna try to get a man to help me with these kids. Hell no. Okay, that's using a person. Especially if you say, well, I just want to be with a man to help me with my responsibility. What about love? So is that all he is a checkbook? That is never going to work. And like I say, a strong man is not going to accept that to begin with. Oh, he'll hit it when the kids finally go to sleep. He'll knock that cave and knock the dust right out of it. But that's about all you're going to get. Okay? Why would I invest in you when you don't invest in me? So again, your price is too high. Okay? You sit there, and a lot of women I see on these damn videos, whatever, saying, I want a man that's making $200,000-$300,000 a year, so I can sit at home and take care of the kids and have a nanny and all that. Well, what happened to you can cook and clean? What the hell you need a nanny for? See, that's what I'm saying. Make it make sense. Your price too high. Why would I spend all my time building everything up or building my business up to let you spend it all? Because what else you think you're gonna be doing when you're sitting at home? Okay, you're gonna have to do something to occupy time, and that's where y'all start thinking, well, hell, he ain't spending no time with me. He ain't paying attention to me. Well, you put him in that position and put your job. So now he has to work. He has to take care of that responsibility he took over, and you leave him high and dry. And say you broke and you ain't shit and all this other stuff. You think a man give a damn? Let me tell you something, ladies, and you might want to listen. What you think is trash, you think he ain't shit, he broke. There's a lot of women out there that'll be thanking and applaud you for letting him go. Seen it a million times. Lived it myself. So, like I said, price is too high, okay? Because it doesn't make sense to sit there and just throw all that responsibility on one person, okay? Now, in closing, I'm gonna say this is not all ladies, okay? It's some ladies, okay? And I don't want to blame it on our grandparents because they did the best they could. But that guidance, and like I said in another video, ladies, you're the nurturers of our culture. Most of our warmth and forgiving and nurturing parts of the behavior from men and women, come from our mothers. Okay? Because it was always, well, your daddy getting your ass, but your mama was over there rubbing it, or talking to you to stop you crying and, trying to make you feel better, whereas right or wrong, we had to be strong, especially when all the burden is put on us. All the responsibility is put on us. And y'all like to say, well, You men are the providers. Come up with that shit. Okay. Yes, we provide. Okay. I have a sign, and I say that I make fun of it. Over my door is like, everybody that lives here work. Okay. And that's because we're working as one, not pulling against each other. Whereas as fast as I can put it in the bank, hell, you're taking it out. How are you gonna ever get anywhere? How are you gonna have a better life for your children if you constantly spending on your trifling ass? Okay, bags, shopping, Dior, and all, Chanel, all this other stuff. No child can eat none of that shit. I've never seen anybody put salt and pepper on a leather bag and say, "Ooh, that was some good eating right there." Let me tell you, whoa, let me rub my stomach. That's horse shit. Okay, you cannot eat any of that. You cannot. What sense does it make spend $400 on a bottle of perfume like this that ain't gonna last you forever because you're gonna wear the shit out of it just to say, "Oh, I got me some Dior." Well, if you didn't tell anybody, how would they know? See, that's what I'm saying. It's not a. It doesn't make sense. It's about status that you don't have. You live in a life that you can't afford. Okay, that old adage: beer money, champagne taste. Okay, so what's gonna happen is you and your kids, or all y'all, gonna be back where you started from. And whatever happened to the pride of, hey, I got where I am by the sweat of my brow. Worked hard, not using anybody, not sitting there taking somebody for granted or taking somebody else's money. I earned this. Earned. Get it? Don't deserve. Earned. Okay? We gotta have pride. Men and women gotta have pride in what we have accomplished. Okay? And if it doesn't work out, try harder. Okay? But realize that everybody wasn't meant to be millionaires. Everybody wasn't meant to be billionaires. Be comfortable within thyself. Okay? And that means if you were meant to be an engineer, be the best engineer you can be. If you're meant to be a janitor, be the best janitor you can be. If you're meant to be working a school cafeteria, be the best school cafeteria worker that you possibly can be. Okay? Pride in what you do goes a long way. There's a lot of people I know that did what people call meaningless jobs, but they reveled in it, loved it. Did it for 40, 50 years, retired. They didn't really have a pot to piss in, but they felt like they had a good life because they did something they love. And that's the key. You have to find your little niche in the world, okay? But asking these ungodly prices of a man, nah, it's not going to end well, okay? It's not going to work, okay? But like I said, everybody has a breaking point. And when I see bills, as a man that's taking on that responsibility, stacked up on here, and all you do is push them aside so you can get a cup of coffee and a donut, you know, or say, put them back in the mailbox, like Fred Sanford used to say. Okay, they got to get paid. So does it make sense for this man to say, "Oh shoot, I can find some more overtime somewhere. Well, I got to get a second job." Now tell me when that makes sense. When this man has a full-time job, then goes and get a part-time job, and you have no job. You're not cooking, you're not cleaning, you're not taking care of the kids, because the kids are in school till what 3:30. By the time they get home, it's 4. Okay, a few hours. It's time for them to go to bed. Okay, so what have you done all day? Now, trust me, ladies, if y'all change y'all mindset, there are some good men out there that would accept another man's responsibility. Okay, they don't want the drama, but realize that if they accept your children as their responsibility to provide for them and you, they know the risk of that baby daddy being involved. Okay, and it's obvious if they chose you, they accepted that risk. Be grateful. Not a lot of men are going to do that. Be thankful. A lot of men are not going to do that. Okay, and if you find one that does, and he's breaking his back for you, and you go out there and cheat on him, and then turn around and say it's all his fault, or he broke, or whatever, he ain't doing shit for me, he ain't never home, that says a lot about you, because that's what it's about. You, not about the family dynamic, not about your children. It's about you. Okay? So let's turn it around and make it about us. Make it about the family. Make the family stronger. Do your part. Okay? And trust me, if you're busting your ass just like that man's busting ass, he's gonna have a newfound respect for you. Because he know he's not in it alone. And I'm telling you from personal experience, that's a good feeling. And no amount of money can beat to get that. Now, you say, "Oh, I want to be rich." You know, there's a lot of rich people that are not happy and are miserable. And God, I hate to mention this, but it's a fact. I can't remember her name, but she was some beauty pageant or whatever, lawyer, turned lawyer, a lot of money or whatever, committed suicide. Plenty of money. She has nobody to share it with. She was alone. Oh yeah, you got people out there to hang out with you. You know, you have people out there to help spend it. But who was there for her? Okay, that she could turn to, and that she felt like she had somebody that would depend on her. So it goes hand in hand. It ain't just all one person. Okay, and that's why I say it's just a bad when a man lays on his ass and his woman or wife is out there working, you know, and she gets a part time job and he laying on his ass. No, and I'm gonna get to that in the next segment because it's all gonna be about these sorry ass so called men out here. Okay, capital MAN. You know, but in a sense, they little boys. And just like you ladies weren't taught to be wives, they weren't taught to be husbands or fathers. Okay? Because understand, a single mother is a woman that was married, got divorced, but she had children while she was married. A baby mama is someone that had children, never been married. Okay? Same thing for a father. Baby daddy didn't marry the mother, just had children. Father married her, had children, whether they got divorced or not. But see, that there is a difference. You know, and like I said, some people are not gonna like that. But hey, it is what it is. Okay. So in closing, ladies, I realize sometimes you want to reach for the stars, but you can't get off the goddamn ground. Because the price that you want to charge a man, especially a good man, and like I like to say, a high value man, he may not make a lot of money. You know, like I said, the average black man in America is making between $45,000, $50,000. Okay. You may think that's not a lot of money. Pool your resources, that's your six figures right there. Okay. So, yes, 50-50 works. But you got to be able to do the 50-50. You got to get out the mindset where it's all on him. Because ain't nobody said a man is total provider. Nobody ever said that. That's y'all bullshit to come out. Well, he's the provider. We know our responsibility. The man that out there that takes on the responsibility of the family, wants to have a family of his own, know that he is the breadwinner. But in today's society, it takes two to make a successful family, unless you make a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. But if you're middle class, it takes middle class incomes. Okay? And trust me, you can have a damn good life living middle class. Would I like to be rich? Hell, who wouldn't? But I accepted my situation. I have bettered myself. I've come a long ways. Okay? So it's where you started and where you're going and where you end that's important. Okay? The journey that you made to get there and the pride that you take, well, shoot, I did all this in spite. I did all this regardless. Okay? I had help. And see, you got to realize that you had help along the way. Okay? And that's where, again, 50-50. So if you think that you're going to get rich or you're going to get a man that's making $500,000 because the average child from the time they're born till they graduate high school, roughly $250,000 for those 18 years, maybe even a little higher now. Okay, so you have three children. That's almost $750,000 to $1 million. Okay, now do you want to put that on the man? And you think you're going to be successful, or your family's going to be successful? Most likely not. But if you're helping and doing your part, like you should, okay, make it a whole lot easier, make life enjoyable instead of being all stressed out and the drama or whatever, because it will cause turmoil and it will cause families to split up. Okay, and on top of that, you feel like you deserve this and your price is too high, you cheat. Okay, well, like I said, you know, that's not going to work out well. Because trust me, any man that's worth his salt is going to put your ass right back on the tree. And who suffers the most? Your children. Okay. So I fussed long enough. Hope you guys are paying attention. Hope you guys learned something. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Have a good evening. Peace.